Okay, money magnets, let's dive into U.S. banks are abruptly closing accounts, and let's talk about how you can stay prepared.
Look, everyone with a personal bank account or a small business bank account needs to pay attention to this video. Look, guys, make sure you like it and share this with someone else that has a small business.
Okay, Marvin, let's look at what Trump said in Switzerland that started this wildfire.
Okay, great.
And by the way, speaking of you, and you've done a fantastic job, but I hope you start opening your bank to conservatives, because many conservatives complain that the banks are not allowing them to do business within the bank. And that included a place called Bank of America. They don't take conservative business. And I don't know if the regulators mandated that because of Biden or what, but you and Jamie and everybody, I hope you're going to open your banks to conservatives, because what you're doing is wrong.
All right, Gloria. So what he was saying in Switzerland is he believes that big banks are shutting down accounts based on political views, is what it sounds like. Now, there was a meeting where Senator Warren was arguing that Trump needs to let the CFPB stay open. Now, him and Elon Musk are trying to close it. We even made a video about that. But he needs to let it stay open, because otherwise, a lot of Americans are going to be debanked.
Okay, Marvin. So let's dive a little bit into what the CFPB has done for us. A lot of people think that the CFPB is just about credit repair and helping you, dispute items, but it's not. The CFPB protects consumers from unlawful practices.
Senator Warren gave 5 reasons why the CFPB should stay open. Look, number 1, she said it can prohibit financial companies from using contract clauses that allow for debanking based on free speech, political affiliation, or religious views. And that's part of what Donald Trump is saying as well.
Most definitely.
Now, number 2, she says clarify when data brokers sell certain sensitive consumer information that they are considered consumer reporting agencies under the Federal Credit Reporting Act, because we did a video about that. It was a broker in Florida that literally leaked all of our social security numbers. So I think she has a great point.
Most definitely. But let's look at number 3, Marvin. Number 3 limits bank overdraft fees, a key cause of debanking, to a $5 fee that simply covers the banking costs and losses. Now, also, Marvin, banks can also extend overdraft loans if they comply with long-standing lending laws, including disclosing the interest rate.
Exactly.
Now, money magnets, you really want to pay attention to these, because it's really important, and this can affect you. Okay. So number 4 makes clear that discriminatory debanking, including for religions, affiliations, can be unfair act or practices under the Consumer Financial Protection Act, giving the agency additional authority to protect debanking consumers.
Right. And number 5, supervise large payment apps like PayPal and Cash App, enabling the agency to more easily weed out unlawful debanking practices on these apps. And so, guys, what this means is we need a watchdog.
Most definitely.
We need somebody outside the banks to actually protect us from the things that the banks might do as far as getting rid of our accounts. I mean, think about what would happen if you woke up one day and now your bank account is closed. And guys, remember, if you want to raise up to $250,000 for your business, make sure you get in touch with Gloria and I. In the description, we'll offer you guys a free business strategy call. All right, Gloria, let's talk about how JP Morgan Chase CEO Jamie Dimon responded to all of this.
Okay, so after the meeting with Republican lawmakers in Washington, D.C. on the subject of debanking, Dimon told reporters that Chase never drops customers over religious or political affiliations.
Right. All right, Gloria, I can understand a little bit of why Jamie Dimon is worried. He said unclear federal guidelines, especially around anti-money laundering rules, force banks to deny services out of compliance fears. I mean, they're scared that they're going to get a big fine for something that maybe they weren't aware of that was going on. So I can kind of get that.
That's just like when TD Bank came they're from Canada, and they were fined $1.8 billion for money laundering. So someone inside their bank was letting people open up accounts and do large transfers of funds. And the bank didn't even flag it, question it, stop it. So I can understand that, but we cannot discriminate against consumers. We have to put things in place so that we can stop this money laundering. and we don't mistaken someone who's actually doing legitimate business as doing money laundering.
Right. And Gloria, listen to these people that got their account closed.
We got shut down for money laundering. So of course, where did we go? Chase Bank. Start a business account. Within the first week, they shut us down. We deposited, not gonna say the amount of money, but amount of money that was sufficient enough for the bank. And it wasn't even like the bank, Chase Bank itself. It was the FDIC. So they shut the account down. But it was crazy because the guy at the bank, he's like, this is the first time I've ever seen it. The FDIC closed down an account like that for money laundering, and it's just because of our age.
We were so young.
The amount of money
we was
in the state,
already.
it was just unheard of. So that's why they did it.
So I first started out with Chase, and for whatever reason, they decided to close my account and blacklist me and force me to pay all the charges I put on the credit card. So that was absolutely terrifying because it was out of nowhere. I have like good credit, and it was just, they couldn't even explain to me why. It's hard because the alerts that you get for fraud are only through your email, and you can't like approve it on your app. But the fraud was basically me purchasing through a different company. They basically canceled everything, and all the money got held up. And for whatever reason, the tracking and routing number just are invalid now. I basically have to get a new bank now. And now I would love any tips or tricks on other small business credit card or bank companies, and if anybody uses anything different, because I'm definitely open to anything else. I tried using PayPal and didn't really work, so yeah.
They canceled my credit card. Yep, I woke up this morning to see that my Chase, Marriott, Bonvoy Boundless credit card had been closed. So after talking to a couple customer service agents, they tell me that I was sent a letter asking for a copy of my Social Security card to be either sent into them via mail or emailed to them. Now, keep in mind, I signed up for this credit card in October of 2022, so we're approaching the year anniversary. Now, I have spent thousands of dollars on this card. Unfortunately, I have already earned the sign-up bonus and all of those things. Went on to tell me that when I signed up for the card, apparently they didn't have all of the appropriate identifying documentation that they needed, and that because I never provided that, they closed my card. So I say to the customer service, you're telling me that you let me use this card for almost a year, and then you send me something in the mail or an email asking me to send you one of the most private pieces of individual information that I have, and you don't think that somebody's going to suspect that that's like a scam? Because yeah, I absolutely thought that that was a scam, and I just immediately deleted that email, and if I got something in the mail, I just threw it away.
Okay, money magnets, now that you've heard what some consumers are going through when their bank account is closed, okay?
And I think this is part of what the JP Morgan CEO is saying in that article. So this is why I think the CFPB should be around to catch when a bank has money laundering going on.
Most definitely, Marvin. And banks need to, have strict policies and put things in place,
right,
and not discriminate against consumers. Like, we have a friend in New York.
Right.
He's a jeweler, and he's been in the States for a long time. He's from Africa, but he sends money to his son that's in Thailand.
Right.
And he was called in and questioned on why was he sending money to Thailand. They thought that was money laundering. But I think we just need to have a watchdog to help us determine what is money laundering and what is not.
And then if anybody has a high risk business, which I know you're probably asking, what is high risk? In the past, we've heard high risk could be real estate. It could be construction. It could be any industry that has like guns or pornography or anything like that. If you have any business like that, you might want to keep an extra bank account just in case your bank account is closed.
Okay, Marvin, let's talk about what Trump said on his social media.
So there was another thing we all dealt with last year, which was called the BOI law.
Right.
So Trump said, exciting news. The Treasury Department has announced that they are suspending all enforcement of the outrageous and invasive beneficial ownership information reporting requirement for all U.S. citizens. So remember last year, guys, there was a lot of talk about this in the news where you had to report on your LLC or your corporation who the owner was. This was supposed to help with FinCEN and actually fighting money laundering. So now the Treasury Department is saying we don't have to report that. And we were nervous, remember?
Exactly, because, we had so many of our students contacting us. Do I need to fill it out? Do I not need to fill it out? It was very, very confusing because they stated that if you did not comply, you would get a hefty fine of $500 per day, which was absolutely ridiculous.
Exactly.
Okay, so Money Magnets, let us tell you what you need to do if you experience the debanking issue with your account being closed, okay?
Right.
So number one, you want to contact the bank immediately. If you notice that your account has been closed, don't hesitate. Call the bank, find out what's going on.
Right.
Number two, you want to stop any direct deposits and automatic withdrawals because you don't want to mess up your credit or for something to bounce and you get additional fees.
Exactly. Also, file a complaint. If you believe your account was wrongly closed, submit a complaint to the Federal Office of Comptroller's Customer Assistance Group. And then number four, explore other options. You know, Gloria and I have done tons of videos where we give you other options of other credit unions that you can set up a business bank account with.
And also, Money Magnets, the CFPB is still open and working and functioning. You know, I know that there's a lot of videos out there saying that the CFPB has closed,
Right.
but we actually called them and they're still fighting on our behalf.
Yeah.
So what we want you to do is also file a complaint with the CFPB.
Yes.
You know, don't let this slide. We have to fight back.
And guys, if you got a business and you want to raise capital and all of this stuff is confusing you, make sure you contact us below for a free business strategy call.
Okay, Money Magnets, hold up, because I have a gem.
What you got?
Okay, Money Magnets, if you're looking for another bank that's better than Chase, check out this next video.
I'm Mr. Smith.
And I'm Mrs. Smith.
And we're here to help empower your finances.